I'm just kidding. But it is a bumpy ride out here in the Harambe's Wildlife Reserve, so pants on our feet, just on your pants, and friends hold on to those smaller friends. Let's go see some animals. We are headed into the Little Terry Forest. Little Terry Forest has a lot of animals that rely on camouflage as their only defense, so it may look like they are hiding. Keep your eyes peeled to both left and right hand sides. There will be animals on both.
I think it's a goat.
Now on your right, there's something called an okapi. Now okapis have some deceiving looking stripes on their legs. What animal do they look like they're related to? A zebra. Yeah, guess what animal they're not related to? That would be a zebra. Does anyone know what they are related to? No one? It's related to a giraffe. We'll talk about that in just a second, because on your left there's a few greater kudus, and actually if you look all the way up here there's some bongos as well. Now, greater kudus are the tan-colored ones, and bongos are the rust-colored ones. Greater kudus only males have the horns, so those ones are ladies. But bongos, both males and females, have horns. If you take a peek out your left-hand side, there's actually some birds down here. Now, the one standing up is a male, the one sitting down is a female. Now, these are saddle-billed storks, so one of the coolest things I've ever learned about them is all boys have brown eyes and all females have yellow eyes, so it's pretty easy to tell the difference. Now, it's a little deceiving how big those birds actually are. You're seeing about 6 feet in the air today, so any animal that you see that may look small in the truck probably isn't that much smaller than you. Those birds are 5 feet tall. They're huge. We're not headed towards the Safi River, which is the river at the end of the forest. Now, animals in the Safi River are something we call semi-aquatic, or at least most of them are. That means they do breathe oxygen, but they do spend a lot of time in the water, so they do rely on clean water to live a happy, healthy life. There's many ways that you can help keep waterways clean no matter where you go, like doing your lake or river cleanup. It's very helpful to the environment all around. On your right, you're going to see something very cool right there. Someone's getting a snack.
Hippo. The hippo, yeah. There's a hippo.
My friends, make sure we're staying seated at all times. We're keeping our children seated as well. Those are hippos. We're going to talk about them in just a second, because right over here there's some pink-backed pelicans. These large gray and white birds may look gray and white right now, but during mating season their backs turn a darker shade of pink. And the same pink-backed pelicans. Before anyone asked me what those black birds are, I couldn't tell you. They don't belong here. Yeah, we did see a few hippos over there. If you look in the water here, you may be able to see a couple more, depending on where they are at the time. I'll stop real quick, actually. Do you see something moving in the water?
Yeah.
Do you see them? They're down there. There's shadows moving. You have to look very closely, because hippos, believe it or not, actually don't know how to swim. Well, it's not necessarily that they don't know how to. They're just too heavy.
Yeah, I can see it.
So they sink to the bottom and walk along the bottom of the river. So if you look very carefully in the water, sometimes you can see something moving.
See another one.
Here. Those are hippos. Or you can see where there's ripples and things like that. There's a hippo right here as well. My friends, make sure we're all staying seated at all times. All the way seated. Thank you. Now, a group of hippos is called a bloat, so that is a bloat of hippos. I personally think they miss out on a great opportunity called a cuddle puddle. Oh, there's what I like to call the hippo spa. Doesn't it look nice and relaxing? This water, though, a little less relaxing. Don't want to go swimming in this one. Do you see it? Yeah, that's a Nile crocodile right there, largest crocodile species in Africa, averaging about 16 feet in length. Some of it grow all the way up to 20 feet though. And you did hear me right, I said they're the largest in Africa, not the largest in the whole world. There are still larger crocodiles out there, larger than 20 feet long. Nile crocodiles may be known for that toothy smile, but they're actually really great parents. Both male and female crocodiles have been known to roll eggs gently around their mouths to aid in hatching. Once the babies are hatched, they'll ride on their mama's back to get some sunbathing in. On your right, there's something called a baobab tree. Now, the baobab tree is nicknamed the upside down tree because it looks like those are roots sticking in the air, but those are its branches. Those branches remain leafless for up to 9 months out of the year, aiding the tree in collecting rainwater. It can store 1,000 gallons of water in its trunk at once, which is very helpful to the animals on the savannah, which is where we're headed now. And my friends, animals on the savannah are very large. I see them just as quickly as you do. I'm not chatting about them right away because I want to get a little bit closer before I start spitting a bunch of random animal facts at you. You're more than welcome to talk about the animals and get excited about them. I'm just not going to talk about them until I get closer. I promise you, I see the 20-foot-tall animal.
Yeah, I can see that.
On your right, there's a few Hartman's Mountain zebras. There's multiple different species of zebras, so you can tell that these ones are Hartman's Mountain zebras because the stripes on their hind legs are a little bit further apart than the ones of the rest of their body. Zebras do get a very quick start to life as they are up and walking within an hour of birth. Once they're up and walking, they do memorize their mama's stripe pattern, as each zebra's pattern is unique to them and them only, almost like how humans have unique fingerprints. And a group of zebras is called a dazzle. So that is a dazzle of zebras. It's not because they sparkle, they're not bedazzled, but they do dazzle the predators when their herd's so large, making it hard for the predators to pick out just one. Now coming up on your left, there's a few different antelope species over here. Those are sable antelopes back there. Both males and females have horns that point backwards to help defend themselves from predators, but we can tell that those are females because they have a reddish-brown coat. Males will have a dark brown, almost black coat. And up here there's a few wildebeest. Now wildebeest are a gray-colored antelope, and they get their name from the Afrikaans word for wild beast, but they're also known as a gnu, spelled G-N-U, because of the sound they make. Like a new sound. All around us there are these tall dirt structure-looking things. These are called termite mounds. Termites build these using spit, dung, and dirt. If you don't know what dung is, it's just a fancy word for poop. Once it dries and hardens, it's actually quite helpful to the animals on the savannah. Larger animals will scratch up against them, like scratching posts, and once they inevitably knock them over, smaller antelope will stand on top of them and look out for predators. On your right over here, there's a few different giraffes. These are Maasai giraffes. All the giraffes in the reserve are Maasai giraffes. There's multiple different species of giraffes. You can tell that these are Maasais based on their spots. Their spots have jagged edges like leaves or puzzle pieces. You can also see those oscones on top of their head. Now, oscones are not horns. First of all, they're furry. Horns aren't furry. But also, they're part of the giraffe skull. So if you look at a giraffe skull, it's all one piece with those oscones. Horns are more of a separate attachment. Speaking of horns, up here there are some Ankole cattle, also known as the Watusi cattle, after the tribe that domesticated them in Africa, the Watusi tribe. If you look on your right, there was one crossing the road that had really big horns, but these ones over here have little horns. Does anyone know why they have little horns? They're babies. They're baby cows. They will grow their horns just as big. Both males and females have horns that are just the same size. Even females can have bigger ones sometimes. But Ankole cattle have horns that get up to 8 feet wide. And they do have a purpose. There's blood running through them. So blood runs to the tips of the horns to cool off, and back in the cows to be nice and cool during those hot summer months. Almost like a built-in radiator. On your right over there, there's a tiny little antelope called a springbok. Springbok get their name from a spring emotion they do called pronking. One pronking, they jump up to 6 feet in the air and 13 feet across, like little springs. It's a beautiful giraffe right here. back there on your left and on your right, actually. Now, a group of giraffes is called a tower, so this is a tower of giraffes all around us. Also, you can see some of those ossicones on top of their head. Now, ossicones are not horns. First of all, they're furry. Horns aren't furry. But also, they're part of the giraffe skull, so if you look at the giraffe skull, it's all one piece with those ossicones. Horns are more of a separate attachment. If you look on your right over here,
Elephant. It's going into hibernation.
world's largest land mammal, weighing in at 8,000 pounds for females and 13,000 pounds for males. Now, we may be able to deduce that this one is a male not only because of his sheer size, he is pretty big, but also, he's all alone. See, elephants live in a matriarchy, meaning that girls rule. So if you ever see an adult male, he's either by himself, or the only one in his herd, surrounded by a bunch of ladies. As we head deeper into elephant country, it does hurt my heart to say that unfortunately in the wild, these gentle giants are still at risk for poaching, which is illegal hunting. Poachers like elephants for their tusks, as their tusks are made of ivory. One simple way that you can help with elephant conservation, though, is do not buy things with ivory in it. There's other alternatives such as the tagua nut. The tagua nut, when carved into, looks almost identical to ivory. So if you like the look of ivory, tagua nut is a better choice, and it doesn't hurt the elephants. Some elephants may have been walking around these paths recently, because if you look to your right, there's some tusk marks right there. Must mean some elephants were traveling around here. No, I didn't know that recently. Okay, there are some over here. There's multiple of them, meaning that they're probably females. Now, elephants who like to dig their tusks into the red clay and knock it down so that they can eat it, they eat it because it's full of minerals that are very good for them. Almost the same way as how humans will eat a multivitamin.
Lots of bobos.
Now, being that they are the world's largest land mammals, they do have the world's largest babies on land. Baby elephants weigh approximately 200 pounds at birth. To get this big, the mama elephant has to be pregnant for quite a while. Mama elephants are pregnant for 22 months. If you look on your left, there are a few greater flamingos, the taller of the flamingo species, standing around 5 feet tall. Anyone know how a flamingo gets its pink color? Yeah, brine shrimp specifically. And other small seafood. So baby flamingos hatch, they do not hatch pink. They hatch gray. Not receive their full pink color until about 2 years old. You see how their legs bend backwards like that? Almost like their knees run backwards, right? Those aren't their knees. Those are their ankles. Their knees are all the way up on their body. They just have really long feet. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Now, hear me out. If I said there were not one but two animals on your left, would you believe me?
Oh, many tiger.
Yeah, there's two cheetahs on your left.
Stand up. You see them? It's there.
There's one laying down, and then if you look slightly to the left of it, there's one right behind it as well, with its head sticking up. Camouflage is a crazy thing. It's not usually blending into the colors around them, but it's just meant for the eye to ignore. Cheetahs are one of the world's fastest land animals, running at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour on average. Average means if they're hungry enough, they will run faster. They are not, I repeat, not part of the big cat family. One of the ways we know are that cheetahs do not roar. They meow. They meow when they purr like your average house cat, among a variety of other sounds. They also chirp like birds.
Maybe it's a lion. Some
Lion?
probably.
If you look on your right, there are a few white
Hey,
rhinos.
hey.
Do those rhinos look very white to you, though? No. Never have been, never will be. White rhinos get their name from the Afrikaans word weit, which means wide. They are wide rhinos, always have been wide rhinos. You go to Africa, they still are wide rhinos. Got it lost in translation.
उसको पता चल के रिश्तेदार है
Oh, that's just a happy little trot right there.
हमारी नाराजगी चल रही है
If you look on your left, it seems like someone's knocked out.
There's the lion.
There's a lion right there. Male lion specifically. There's actually a female right behind him too. It's just really hard to see her. They're cuddling together. Now lions have a roar that can be heard from up to 5 miles away. In lion's pride, the females go out to hunt, while the males stay back and watch the cubs. The rhinos over here. Larger than rhino species, weighing 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. My goodness.
What is that?
Eggs.
These are ostriches.
Wow.
Female ostriches specifically, they have brown feathers. Males will have black feathers. Ostriches are the tallest birds in the world, standing about 6 to 9 feet tall. 6 for females, 9 for males. They cannot fly, that'd be terrifying. They can run at 40 miles per hour. Now if you think this truck goes fast at all, they go 5 times faster than my top speed. They could literally run circles around us while we were moving. We're now headed towards the Magadi Glen, which is home of the warden. Warden, let's come around or keep around a few furry friendly animals.
Goats.
The Nigerian dwarf goats, one of the smallest goats. They have eyes on the sides of their head and large rectangular pupils not widen their field of vision so they can easily scan for predators. Almost in 360 degrees. Alright, my friends, it seems like our journey together is slowly coming to an end. We saw many amazing animals today. We want to keep seeing amazing animals all over the world for generations to come. There's many ways that you can help with animal conservation no matter where you go, but one of my favorite ways is simply by grabbing some caffeine at Creature Comforts. Also known as Starbucks here at Disney Animal Kingdom. If you order a flat white latte, a portion of those proceeds goes towards Cotton-Top Tamarins in the wild. There's about 7,500 Cotton-Top Tamarins left in the Fourth of Columbia, so it's important that we're able to help them in as many ways as we can. If you don't know what a Cotton-Top Tamarin is, it's a very small raccoon primate, and you may be able to see some as their habitat is directly across from Creature Comforts. If you're a wilderness explorer, you're riding aboard the only Simba 1. It's SIMBA 1. You are going to need to know that to get your badge.